Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. I know what you think. You think that the banker who was scheduled didn't come and that they had to find a geek ready to present the new Oculus Rift, the new device, virtual reality device to you. But actually, I am the banker who was scheduled. And I'm just wearing my future office. Or I think I'm wearing it, and that's why you maybe think that I'm a crazy banker. At least it's what my partners are thinking every time I'm presenting a new idea in this bank called Lombardie. So good morning, everyone. So the topic today is legacy, constraint or springboard. How a heavy heritage may or may not be seen as an opportunity to innovate rather than constraint. Okay, let's talk about the heritage side before talking about innovation, because that's where I started my professional activity, and I'd like to say a few words about Lombardie, which is by essence, the heritage style of company I would like to introduce you. And I took the book of the 200th anniversary that has been published almost 20 years ago, and that is telling the story of the bank, which has been founded in 1796. And the bank is still owned and run by the same families that who created and founded the bank in 1796. So the weight of history, the weight of heritage is very, very important in such a bank. It is said, the title is Nos 200 premières années, our first 200 years. So it means that we hope we will be able to do 200 more. So what does it mean? And it's at the heart of the governance of this organization. It says, okay, you're working for this organization, you are maybe an owner, or maybe a partner, you are an employee, but what you're doing it for the next generation. Just improve what you have and then pass it to the next generation. That's the way the bank has been managed for more than 200 years. And what do? We do, for almost 200 years, always the same thing. We do manage assets that are deposited with us. So I'm sure you think it's boring. Yes. How can you do 200 years the same thing, and especially that kind of thing? So you may be right, but in terms of values, you're wrong. But in terms of maybe dynamic, you're probably right. So that's the world I entered 25 years ago. That was the worst place to go to come with new ideas and a dynamic in terms of innovation. So what I would try to do today is maybe to show that those two words, or innovation and tradition, can work together. And maybe with a success. I don't know yet if we will be successful in the future by being very innovative, but what we will try to do that. So to illustrate that, maybe I just go back to our first activities and what we introduced some years ago in this organization. I entered Bombardier in '87. I was 25, and I presented a business plan, a one-pager business plan, saying, why don't you create a new business line dedicated to independent portfolio managers? Because we had our own portfolio managers working in the bank, serving our own clients, but there were new type of new business models being created at that time, and I thought with my 25 years old that I could bring that to Bombardier. And it was a very small entity, and at that time it was called Hentsch Cie company, 300 employees. And one of the partners told me, why not? Let's try. What is our risk? Maybe in 1 year you have done nothing, and okay, we'll see what you do. And they gave me a chance. Even though when I look at the building and the people, I thought I won't be able to change anything in this organization. Then the business has been developing quite well for the next 10, 15 years. Now I must say that this business is representing 20% of the whole assets deposited by private clients in the Lombardier's group. So it has become something quite heavy in our organization, business-wise. But in the beginning of the 2000s, I had many of our professional clients, independent portfolio managers, were seeing the future becoming difficult, and they were asking us whether we could find potential partners among our clients. So I was presenting one portfolio manager to another and said, oh, I think you have a good fit together and you have the same size. I knew them very well, and I did it some dozens of times. But it wasn't efficient. So I proposed to the partners about this. I'd like to do something, but I need your approval. I'd like to make the first, how do we call it? No, not social network, but speed dating event for small entities, not for individuals, but for companies. So I took over the whole building and all the salons and invited many companies. And I said, you will have 5 minutes to present your entity to another one you don't know, and then the other one will do the same, and at the end we'll say, is there any fit or not? And then you go in the next salon and you do the same. And Patrick would, yeah, you're crazy. We are at Bombardier. We don't do that kind of things. Speed dating. You know what the speed dating is? I said, Antonio, don't say anything to anybody, but just do it, because we never know. That's very important. And we did it, and people came and they had fun, and then they said, okay, I crossed this guy every day on the street. I didn't know who he was, and finally maybe there are potentialities between us. So we did it once, twice, and then we had always more people coming to this event, and we realized that the time between the two events was too long. So we said, okay, why don't we create something more, that can be used every day? And that was the time when Facebook was launched in the beginning of 2006. So we told our clients, the next time we invite you, we will offer you an online dating site for your entity, for your company. You will describe yourself, describe your company, say everything about your company, and then you will be searchable by others who could be interested in cooperating with you, because individually you're weak, but globally you can be very strong. And once we gathered all those guys in a room, presenting the tool, which was the E-MERGING site that we'll show you in a minute, they realized that they were altogether managing billions of US dollars together, even though they're individually managing maybe 100, 200, 500. So what they considered being unchangeable, because there were large organizations, large banks, large vertical organizations, and beside that very small players but weak players, they realized that they could become strong if they were well organized and connected. But this strategy, we could do it with external players, doing that internally, in Lombardy, with all the weight of history and what I was saying, was much difficult. So sometimes you have to prove outside what you would like to create inside. But then, since those individual players or small entities were our clients, we were offering for free something that could help them to become stronger, and thanks to that, they could consider that Bombardier, which was behind this support, could be maybe a different banker who think, not just looking at assets deposited at the bank and looking at easy money, but thinking at the whole community and how it could be improved in the future. So that was at the first stage totally dedicated to independent portfolio managers. And then we realized it was a large community in the world, but too specific. The value chain in the wealth management is much larger. So we opened the platform in 2012 to other professions. Said, okay, not only portfolio managers, but lawyers, wealth managers, IT solution providers, HR consultants, and so on. All those guys, being independent, are bringing something in the value chain that is, at the end of the day, serving an end client. So if we organize those players very well, we will be maybe stronger than a large organization that has all the skills internally, but which is too difficult to change and to move. So we open that to those professions, and we marketed the platform to non-clients. And if you talk with bankers, they think in terms of being a client or not. Okay, that's the way we did money in the past, but maybe is there a mean to offer a service, bring something to your partnership, to your partner, which is not a client yet, but maybe it will be a client once. So the result of that is the E-MERGING platform, which is today present in 50 countries, and that gathers more than 10,000 companies and employs more than 1,500 employees, and manage altogether 350 billion US dollars. So all those small players, 1,000 companies, they manage 350 billion. So Melanie will show you very rapidly what it looks like. Okay, that's a virtual image. It was
Where is Daria?
Parfait. Okay, from online dating site, on which you can sign in, answer questions about your business model, your clients, and so on. You remain anonymous, so other members don't know who you are, but they see your profile, and they see as much information as they gave to the platform. But that's the deal. You give information about you, and you get those information from the others. And then, if you're interested in profile, you can have access to this member in an anonymous mailbox, and you can contact the member. So you can decide whether you want to work with somebody who's based in Zurich, who's managing 200 million, who has been founded more than 10 years ago, who has more than 10 employees, and who's specialized in hedge funds, for instance. This information exists nowhere, because there are many databases, but never this idea of taking those very smart ideas of social network that have been developed for individuals could be used for a small organization or even larger organization. That was quite innovative at that time. So this community is now a social network, and it is organizing events, it is publishing news, it is giving training for the members, it is giving the voice to the members and to the partners, and there is no real business model. The idea is to create an acquisition channel for the bank, and beside that we have partners who pay something to be visible on the platform, and they pay something like 5,000 Swiss francs a year for being on the platform, and there are some other type of agreements, but our objective is not to make money out of this platform. It's to communicate about Lombardy, communicate about our services, and to be a kind of pioneer in this community. The other thing we did, which was quite disruptive and strange in our world, is that we wanted to organize for our members an yearly event. We looked at that, and so 51 countries, and we have almost no budget for that. How would we be able to gather all those members in a place to exchange with them once a year? So we looked for a software that could help us to recreate an event online without having to invite people from all over the world, without having to pollute the planet, without having to take a 1 week hotel and so on. So we found a company called the Hyperfair in San Francisco, and they did develop a software that is able you to create 3D online events. But they found no finance entity ready to take the risk to do that. They had some other type of industries saying, oh, why don't we do that? But in the States, they find nobody to take the risk to organize such an event. So we said, E-MERGING will organize the first 3D online virtual fair out of our offices, Melanie and myself in Geneva, and we'll invite not only the members, but also other finance players to take a booth and to invite their clients and to meet them via their avatars on 3D online event. So we organized the first virtual Finfair last year, and we've had 600 avatars coming one day. They spent 2.5 hours on average on the platform, coming from 30 countries, and walking around, chatting, Skyping, talking together from different places at the same time. Being at the office, on holidays, at home, anywhere. Cost nothing to the avatars, to the visitors, and the exhibitors were able to take a booth for almost nothing. It was something like 2,500 US dollar or euros. Sorry, that was the first price for having a booth. But what we did, what was behind this idea, was also to help exhibitors to digitalize their offer, because that was the first step they had to go in order to enter into this world. So they had 1.5 months to create a booth with their the marketing materials, and then get used to the idea of meeting other people via an avatar. And that's what we did. Our objective was to have a zero-cost event that was happened. We got some percentage from the Hyperfair for selling booths, and with that, it paid us the cost of the software. So it was a zero-cost event for us, something that has been, discussed in the whole major finance places, and a very funny event, because people were writing us during the event. I haven't had such a fun day at the office for years. They were playing while they were doing business, and at the same time they forced themselves to digitalize part of their offer. And of course, you can imagine that some of my partners told me, "This is stupid. This is absolutely stupid. You know, we are a people business, and we need to shake hands, have a drink." And yes, that's right. But at the same time, most of the avatars that came there, maybe they wouldn't have come to a real event just because it was too far, too expensive, too something. So this is something that comes, that is additional to what exists. Maybe can simplify our life in some cases. That's not that expensive, and that which is fun. And you know, people were chatting, having 4 chats at the same time, and they were having fun. So now we are repeating the concept on the 24th and 25th of September, having one day for the B2B players, and the second day for will be a B2B2C event. And we hope we can double the number of exhibitors and the number of visitors. And if you are interested in being a visitor, you can go on the site and then sign in, and we will then visit the place with an avatar. You can dress up your avatar, and that's very fun. Okay, the reason why I'm talking about that, it's not that I want absolutely to have many visitors, but it's to show you that if you're convinced of something, if you're also credible because you are having, you have shown that doing your business you are able to do something real, then you can dream, and you can share your dreams even with a very traditional organization. Because this traditional organization has something that others have not. They have clients, and they have a credibility, and if you can build up something on it, shaking the heads internally, and that takes a lot of energy, I admit. But once you can do it, you can maybe one day take the whole organization into this new world, which is much funnier than it used to be in the finance world. So the question is the cocktail tradition and innovation compatible or possible? I think yes, in certain conditions. You must have a very open-minded management, and you must benefit from the trust of your peers. And to get it, maybe you have to prove at the first stage that with the traditional way you can succeed, and then you can open up to other capacities. I just wanted to, because I was reading the part of the book the other day, and I read just that about Jean-Éloi Lombard, born 1801 in 1872, and it is said, like try to translate, interested in new inventions, Jean-Éloi Lombard introduced the telegraph in Switzerland and opened, that was in 1830, something like that, and opened in Geneva a subscription in order to finance the infrastructure for that. And it says that the subscription wasn't a success at all, because people in Geneva were quite close to those new technologies. So what it means that he was very interested in new technologies. Maybe he wasn't well heard in his world, but the bank still exists, and the spirit of innovation still exists, even though looking at it from outside looks very traditional and sometimes very close to new things and new technologies. So thank you for your attention. I'm ready to answer your questions, and I thank you for that.
Have you acquired many independent asset managers
thanks to
this
that
platform?
Yes.
So it's paying out.
Absolutely. That's today half of our growth in this business is done thanks to the platform, because people are signing in Australia or in South Africa and Dubai, and we never travel there. But suddenly they are in our environment, and they don't need to be a client. It's free, but it becomes much more easy to get in contact with them. So it works. But it took. I mean, in the beginning it was quite difficult, but it's now a 5 years story.
Thank you for that. You speak very easily about how changing traditional structure by bringing in these ideas. And I salute you for a 25 years old company with one-page business plan. But I was wondering, can you give us an example of some resistance you may have felt from a traditional structure of your many years of proposing new ideas and succeeding at proposing new ideas?
I can share with you my present resistance facing with the idea of transferring into the organization the whole idea of social networking the whole bank. Because I think tomorrow there is no chance for any type of organization, especially like us, to work without being a social network as such for its own community of client, employees, and contributors and partners. So for me, it's so obvious that we have to transfer all this community that is already existing, which is not connected, into this world. So I go to say, why don't we do that? Because now we have a 5 years experience of doing it externally, and now there are some new technologies, and we won't take another one's social network to adapt it to ourselves because we want to put our own rules in it. But if we do that, it will become our world, it will become our entity, it will maybe entail all the value of our organization. And we'll be able to communicate on this environment with our client, with our public. And to answer your question, in our organization, part of the relationship between us and the clients, not part, all the relationship is managed by small number of people. Okay, let's say we have 30,000 clients, maybe we have 300 portfolio managers, relationship managers, and then 2,000 employees. It's just impossible. Maybe it used to be feasible 15 years ago. Today, we have to open that, so you have to share the relationship with others. The client must be able to go directly to the real specialist without having to go through this channel. So most of our organizations are designed on this model today. But we can change it in a year. It's not that difficult. But mentalities and this is difficult. So people are resisting because they don't want to share their power, they share their position with a larger community. Maybe do you really think that the client will take its own decision, will be able to determine what is good for him or not? But yes, our role is more to become more community managers, helping the clients to find a good solution maybe by himself, but giving him the tools to do so and choosing, maybe pre-choosing the good partners he needs. Internal, external, we don't care. And then we will charge maybe something for offering that. Instead of doing the job ourselves.
Okay.
Yes?
Hi, my name is Jan. First of all, I'm really grateful for hearing your banker use the same vocabulary we used to try to have people understand like 15 years ago as hardcore online gamers, so it's pretty interesting. You use a lot the word avatars and interactions. As Yves stated on Twitter, it looks like Second Life for financial experts.
Absolutely.
It's pretty interesting to see how things evolve. Now I can say my mom, even bankers are using those. So it's awesome.
Yeah, you said even bankers.
My question is, my question would be on the Oculus Rift you did at first. What are you trying to use it for?
I think when I saw that in the newspaper and somewhere before it has been sold to Facebook, it has been financed by okay. And I saw that and I said to Nani, okay, please buy me one and I want to see that immediately. And weren't able to find one because at Oculus Rift they were writing the contracts with Facebook and they didn't care about the clients. Okay, so finally it's a second-hand prototype we found in France and okay, 200 euros. So and before we saw it in real, we knew that maybe it could be the link between social networks and the real life. That's what I think. And I think Facebook has realized that in the sense that otherwise they will have more such a device, which is they don't want to create new games, and I don't think so. Maybe yes, but so and anyway, if they don't, and then we would like tomorrow to give the possibility to a member by sending him such a device, say, okay, why don't you enter into our community in almost in reality, virtual reality, and why don't we have a meeting together with that? Because now we have some conference rooms in the bank where you can almost, you feel like having a meeting with somebody who's in the room. But I mean, it takes a room like that, plus 200,000 Swiss francs, and you have to reserve the room. That's okay, that's good, but with that, you could be everywhere, working, having fun, playing, and that's big, of course. But tomorrow it could be maybe your glasses becomes black, and so it opens so many doors. That I want to work that way, and I want to meet people in real for the pleasure. So I think, so we said to Hyperfair, please connect the software with that. And they said, no, we have, it's too much, it's too much. But we are insisting, and hopefully we will make the connect the two chains.
Olivier, if I can add something. They're also very innovative in their office, because last time I visited you, you had an ostrich pillow, and with ostrich pillow in a bag. And actually, we have the pleasure to have the founder of the ostrich pillow here in the room today. It's Kay Collombin. I think you had a question, right?
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for the intro as well. I'm going to introduce myself. So thanks a lot for this very refreshing view on banking. I have a question. In the world of lean startup, which is the world I belong to, typically when you introduce a disruptive innovation, you try to do it first internally, then with a very selected group of external partners or potential users, and then eventually you scale it up and you bring it out. It's a way of risk managing. If I understand correctly, when you came with these disruptive ideas to your partners, they said first test it out, and then we try it in, and which to me it sounds like a lot of risk, especially reputational risk. I don't know if you could talk a little bit about this experience.
Yes. No, wasn't their advice to try it outside first. It was just because it was my world, those external players. So, and that's where I thought that I could try the concept. And more than that, that's where the need was. Because I just didn't come in the morning saying, I do that. It's just because I had clients who were looking for something. They didn't know how to solve the problem, and but they were having the problem. So in this case, the risk was small because I was just putting something in front of their need. So I told the partners, I just need some money to do something and using our IT forces to answer the question of my clients. And we are starting very small. So the low risk was reached by offering a service to a small number of people who were needing it. And it was thanks to their satisfaction that we could open up to others. So it wasn't really a strategy, it was just the result of the reality. Yeah.
If you do get the sign-off from your management for an enterprise social network, intranet, would you use an existing solution like Yammer or Bittrex 34, or would you only develop something internal?
The second possibility, for sure.
You wouldn't accept to use an external solution?
No, because that's the way I can ensure the whole community that we will determine the rules. And there are many rules in our world. I mean, in terms of privacy and so there are so many fears about what social networks, the hidden agenda of social networks, and so on. So that's why when you're talking about that in the company, say, Facebook will put okay, but we have employees in our organization who are using Yammer. Why do they do that? Because it doesn't exist internally, but they are giving information to others. It's unacceptable, to my opinion. So I think we have to create our world under our rules. We will say who's in, who can get in, who can get out. I don't know, everybody can get out, but who can get in? Who are what are the rules? And then every time we say, oh, we must be careful about that, we determine what has to be done. And by chance, we have an existing social network that we can copy internally, just changing the design and some functionalities. But basically, we are offering the same service for external than for internal. But we'll have to add the end client being part of the community without needing to be a client. That's also the point, because our tomorrow's client will be first a member of the community and then possibly a client. Yes?
My name is Yves. What's your rule in terms of user data privacy?
Okay, what's my role?
You said that you have very important rules to protect confidentiality, secrecy, privacy.
Yes.
I was curious to know in the banking world what rules you put on your platform to protect the data of your users.
Okay. Very simple answer. We have exactly the same rules as we have in the bank for our own clients. So the processes are the same, and the IT security specialists are having the same standard of security. So that's why also it has been quite helpful to be Bombardier to promote this network, because we were known for being pretty good in keeping information for our clients. So that was quite also an important element that shows that it's not bad to build up based on the existing credibility. Yes?
My question is actually bouncing on that. It was about, could you tell us a little bit more about your marketing plan, how you did your promotion at the time that the E-MERGING was a brand new product? Did you use more traditional ways or innovative ones?
Yes, the first year, or maybe the first 2 years, 2009 and 10, let's say that we used traditional means by doing some roadshows. We were inviting our clients in the different places where we have desks. So we were meeting real people, showing the platform. That's what we did the first 2 years. And then 1 year we decided with Melanie to shift the whole budget from traditional marketing to online marketing, at least for 1 year, just to force us to understand how it works and to understand how we could use it. And then we're all used to traditional means, and so that year was quite interesting. And then we came back to a more mixed strategy of traditional means and online means, but it's half-half approximately.
you acquire clients using the online channel, like normal client or wealth management?
Not yet. But what we would like to do is to do the same thing as we will do with Bombardier, we hope. We will offer it to the members. We say, okay, we will give you a small emerging white label social network for creating your own community with your end client. So this is the same approach, same theory, and that will take time because you know those small entities until they understand and people say yes. It's a lot of work to convince people to change the way the database of clients, potential clients. That's the way most of the people who are still in the driving seat understand the way they manage their clients. They don't see the interest of social networks. For most of them, at least in Europe, because in other countries where the average age of the population is 35, it's different by chance.
Sorry guys, we're a bit late. Maybe just one more question.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Romain. I think you did a great job on B2B and B2B2C, as you said. Do you have any plans with regards to more C2B, like a fair where you have small businesses or startups looking for investors and things like that?
Yes.
So that's already included, or
No, it is not.
Okay.
It's on the to-do list. Once 5 pages, 200. No, sorry. There's on the to-do.
So the maximum we can do right now is what you have on the banner, where you can simulate your business plan, right?
No. That's no, absolutely not. There is for instance, there is a shop, an e-shop, where you can buy services offered by the partners. So you can online shop. You can train yourself. You can do some training, online training. You can. This is something interesting. This is a business plan simulator. So you are not independent. You are a portfolio manager. You're working in a bank. So why don't you become independent? Okay, but you have no idea what it costs, how it could develop. So in 15 minutes, you can just enter information about your clients and what you're looking for, and then it gives you a 5 years business plan online without having to give your name. And then it says maybe you want to become independent, you want to meet somebody from about it. Sorry, there were last question.
I think maybe you could catch up with
Okay.
Monsieur during the coffee, because we still have some coffee and some things to eat if you're still hungry. So you are very welcome to stay a bit more and talk and exchange and so on. And I guess you're going to be available for a couple of minutes more.
Absolutely.
Perfect, great.
Thank you very much.